Thank you very much. So I will be presenting EndNote today, and we'll be looking at the EndNote library, and I'll show you how to create that and get some data in there. But we will also be pushing or looking a little bit more in detail how to use EndNote together with EndNote Online. EndNote Online is the online account that you get together with your EndNote license. But before I go on, I would also like to highlight our webpage and this section here, the training section. So if you like to learn more about EndNote or any other of our tools, we have trainings available for that. So just have a look there and see if there's anything that that you like to join to learn how to use, in this case, EndNote more in depth. So let's start by opening EndNote and just creating an EndNote library. So I'm just gonna, when you start EndNote, I've set EndNote up. So EndNote always asks me what I want EndNote to do. So I want EndNote to create a new library in this case. And I'm gonna put it anywhere. You can name it anything. So I'm gonna name it ODD 2023. So that's our online demo day 2023. And I'm gonna click save. And here we have our EndNote library. It's empty right now. So now we need to add some data to this. So in my case, I'm choosing to use PubMed for this presentation. So I'm going to start my web browser. I'm going to start from PubMed. And you can do this in different ways. I'm going to start from PubMed instead. So I'm going to go to the PubMed web page. I'm going to search for cancer in this case, anything, and I'm going to take these references that's on this page. Basically, I'm happy now, and you have some. That's also something that's important if you're going to search for your reference material. You have some filters that you can use to the left here on PubMed's web page, so you can use that. But in my case, I'm happy with everything here, so I want to send this to my citation manager, which is in this case is EndNote, of course. So I want to take all the results on this page. As you can see, it did find 1.6 million results, but I just want the ones on this page. I better check how many there are so we don't get a nasty surprise. So that's going to be 10 results that I get. So let's do that. Let's click on create file here, and let's see, it might even have downloaded already. So there we go. If I switch to my EndNote software, I already have all of these references in my EndNote library. So it's really fast to get the information in there. I can also click on this one, online search, to the left. And if I click on PubMed here, you will see right now it says, if I click here, it says all my references I'm looking at. But if I click on PubMed here, it will say PubMed instead. So right now I'm connected directly to PubMed, and I can make the same search here. So let's make a search again just to show you how it works. Search for cancer anywhere and click search. And it searches and it finds then even more. The reason why I got more results here, 4.8 million results, is because on PubMed's web page, I had a filter on saying I only wanted references with full text access, free full text access. So that's why I get more here, because not all of these have free full text access. But I want to work with the 10 I have here in this case, and I'm going to highlight them all because I have the, well, let's have a look at how they look. So you will see, just to give you an idea, you will see that you get in the summary to right here, you will get a summary. This is hard coded, you cannot change this, but it will give you the basic information about your reference, including any abstract that's been downloaded. You also have an edit tab here where you can edit and change any reference information. There's also a PDF tab here. So what does this mean? Well, it means that you can attach PDF files. Well, in fact, you can attach any file to a reference, but only PDF files are actively supported. So either you have them and then you can drag and drop them, or you can right click on a reference here like this, and you can add there, or you can go up here to the edit section and scroll down. And if we scroll down even further here, I'm going to keep on scrolling. You have attach file here, a button. I click on that and I select the file I want to attach. But I want to make it even more smoother in this case. So I downloaded 10 references here. I highlight them all, and I go I tell EndNote to go online and search for full text articles. So I clicked on that, and you can see to them. I'm just going to collapse here so you see a little bit. You can see this find full text on the side here, which shows me the progress of this functionality. Now, some of these will, of course, be available for free. Some are not for free. EndNote will ask a number of sites, number of databases for free full text PDFs, and that also means that you might get different results on during different time in the day, during different depending on how much traffic there are on all of these different databases. Because EndNote won't stay along for a very long time and waiting for an answer, because that's the same as the software hanging. So we just keep on doing. But you can redo this. Right now, it did find for 8 of them, and for 2 of them, it didn't find anything. And I can redo the same thing for those 2 tomorrow or later today or next week or whenever I want to, and I might get a different results, and it might find those as well. So now I have some information here. I'm actually going to take away some, and there's a reason why I want to do that. So I'm going to take away, I don't want that much information, because we are looking at later on EndNote online and looking at, and then we're going to sync our library. And I want, since we are live and you're watching this live, I don't want it to take too long time to sync the information. So I'm just going to delete some of these right now from my library. I'm just highlighting them. I don't want these are not correct. So I click on delete. If you do this, don't worry, you have a trash to the left here. So you can always, if I click on that, I can see the ones that I deleted, and I can always reinstate them in my library again. But I'm going to right click on my trash here, and I'm going to empty that instead. Yes, I want to empty my trash. So I have a number of references here. And right now, if we look on the first one here, you will see that I have the, let's do it like this. You will see I have a PDF here. I can open it from here. I can also click on this PDF tab, and I can see a preview of the PDF. So really convenient to have all the PDFs, and they are stored, they are copied into your EndNote library, into your EndNote database. So if you make a backup, if you move your database, you will also move and keep track of all your PDFs. One thing that perhaps not all of the existing users know is that the content of the PDF, so the text in the complete PDF, is indexed in EndNote and is made searchable. So if I want to, if we go up to the search field up here, I can decide what field to search, and you can see I can search just the PDFs. So that would mean I will only search the content of the PDFs in EndNote. So by attaching your full text PDFs to your references, you greatly expand your knowledge base about the reference. So it can be really, really useful. Sometimes when you look at the PDF, you might see the name here, and you might not like that. So you would like the name of the PDF instead to be based on the based only on the title, for instance. Well, you can do that. I can right click on my PDF here, and I can click on rename PDF. I click on that, and it will ask you, okay, so what do you want me to, EndNote will ask you, what do you want me to base the name of the PDF for? Well, I only want it to be based on the title. So I will base it on the title field, and all of the rest, I will just choose none here, so it won't use that. Otherwise, you have 3 fields that you can that you can combine in giving the name of the PDF, and the name of the PDF will be limited to 50 characters, and that is to avoid having really long file names that might be a problem for Windows to handle. So in this case, let's base it on only the title. So click OK, and right now my PDF is renamed according to only the title. I can do this for multiple PDFs at the same time. So I'm highlighting this or highlighting my full EndNote library, for instance, and I can go to references, I can go to file attachments and say, okay, rename these PDFs. It will tell me that, sure, I can rename these, but just remember that this can't be undone. Once it's done, it's done. So that's fine. I want you to use first. I will change everything because I want it to be based on year, and then I want the author, and then I want the title. So I want it right now. They are based on, if we look to the right here, it's based on the author, year, and part of the title. I want it to be based on year first instead, then author, then title. Let's say, okay, it did it for all 4, and now they're all renamed according to this. Could be really useful if you want to send the PDFs to someone, because then it's a little bit more informative. Let's have a look at something else. So let's take the first one here, Bates. Click on this PDF here, and let's say that I would like to highlight this. So this background here is really good. I would like to, I'm going to make a annotation here. So I click on the markup annotation. I will make a comment about this, and I will comment it and say Masrot, that's my name. And I will say very good background, use as base for my own research. That's really good. So I have that. I will click that. That's there. Just to make it even further, I will highlight this text. So I highlight background. I click on this highlight selected text, and I highlighted the text in my PDF. Now, this is saved in the actual PDF. So if I open the PDF, I click here and I say, okay, let's open it in another PDF reader that I have installed. Let's open it here. Yes. And let's show you on the other. You can see here that it is actually saved in that in any PDF reader, that information. That's also a note of caution. If you send the PDF to someone, you will send all your comments that you added as well. As a last thing, we will create a group. So I'm going to create a group here, and my groups are well, there are basically groups that I can save my references in. So if you have, like me, only 4 references, it's not a problem. But if you have, like some people, 6, 7, 8,000 references, or like some companies, you might get up to 20,000 plus references. You might want to start sorting them into groups. You can do that manually. I will make it manually right here. So I will click on this. I will right click. I will click on create a group, and I will call this group commented refs, like that. So I have a group right now called commented refs, and I have my reference here that I made a comment in. So I will just drag and drop that, because this is a manual group, and I don't know if you see that, but I get this little plus sign, and if I drop it there, you will see number 1. So I added, if I click on that group, you will see I added only that reference there. But also all my references are in this group called all references. You can see that I have some references here of varying age. I can just click on the column title, and you will see that they are quickly sorted. It's very easy to sort your references in EndNote, but they are sorted in according to year right now. So I would really like to be able to sort the older references in a specific group. So 2008, well, that's a fairly new reference, but the other ones are older. So let's sort the older ones in a group of their own, and let's set the limit to everything past 2017. Well, let's call that new references, and the rest old references. So I'm going to create a new type of group here. I'm going to right click again on my group. I'm going to create a smart group. Well, what is a smart group? Well, a smart group is, of course, a smart group. So I'm going to create this, and you will see, if you can see that, it's actually a search algorithm. So I'm going to call it older than 2017. That's going to be the name of my group. And I wanted to include everything that the year field is less than 2017. So in any reference where the year field, and we can see that there are a number of those, 3 of those, where the year field is less than 2017, well, I want you as a smart group to dynamically all the time add any reference that are older than 2017 to put those references in this group. So let's click create. Now that group is now created here, and you can see that there are 3 references. So any reference older than 2017 are automatically added to this group. So that's a neat feature. So I'm happy. So I created an EndNote database. I added some information to my EndNote database and did some things with that. Now, what I want to do now is I want to share this library with a colleague. And I also want to be able to access it on different computers. Well, so let's do that. Let's go to edit and preferences. Let's go in this list to the left here down to sync. I have EndNote online accounts, but you can see if you don't have it, you can just click on enable sync here. If I do that, you will have a sign up. So why do it this way? Well, what you want to do is you want to connect your EndNote license, whether it's your single license, your personal license, or your organization's license, or whatever. You want to connect the license to your EndNote Online account. So why do you want to do that? Well, because if you do that, your EndNote Online account will be pushed from an EndNote Online basic account to an EndNote Online premium account. And the premium account doesn't have, what's the real benefit? Well, the premium account doesn't have a size limitation. And that's really important when you start to adding all of these attachments. When you start adding the PDFs to your library, it will soon grow in size, and then you don't want it to be limited by basically having a size limitation. And that's free. If you buy an EndNote license, you will and you connect that to your EndNote Online account, you're home free. You will get an EndNote premium account, and there's no size limitation. And that's actually the only way to get the EndNote Online premium account. I already have that, so I'm going to see here if I can add my credentials here. I will not show you my password. I will add it like this and click apply. It checks that I actually have that, and it connects my, I don't know if you saw that, but it said authorizing. So it actually logged into my EndNote Online account, and it also then checked that I made sure that I get a premium size. Now, in order to sync my library, I can do that automatically from the preferences, or you can do it down the library here, and I can click on sync in the main menu on this. So let's do that. And it says that you want to sync this. Now I say sync, I don't say copy, I say sync, so it goes both way. Everything locally on my machine is synced to the online account. Everything in my online account is synced to my local machine. And that's why it says that, okay, if you already have information in your online account, well, that means that they will be merged because it goes both ways. But I want to do that, and I want to sync this. It wants me to make a backup. I don't want to do that right now, but this is a good reminder that you should always have a backup. There is a functionality for this. If you go to File, you have something called File Compressed Library. We also have an article in our support database that you can find from our web page outlining how to make a backup. And please, please, please do a backup regularly. And the reason is, after working with your EndNote library for a couple of years, it's a lot of man hours going into there, which means there's a lot of value in it. So please do a backup. And right now it's synced, and of course I did what I was not supposed to do. So I did what I warned you about. I already had information on my EndNote Online account, and it synced all that down to my local computer. So what it did right now, what it's doing right now, it's syncing everything that I had on my EndNote Online account to my local computer, and everything that's on my local computer is synced up to my EndNote Online account. So you can see right now, if I click on this sync status up here, I click on that, it will give me an overview. So it will show me what's on my local library, on my local computer. So I have 95 references, 27 attachments. What's in my online library? Well, it's the same, of course, because I synced everything both ways. So that means I have the same information both on my local computer and on my EndNote Online account. Now I want to show you a neat thing. So let's say we have this information let's say we have it like this. So let's say I now change computer, for instance, or let's say I get a new computer that I want to have my EndNote library on. So let's try that. Let's close this. So I just closed my EndNote library, and I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to open my EndNote again here. I'm going to create a brand new library. I will place it on. Let's see if we can fix that here. There we go. So let's call it Sync01. I'm going to save it. So I have a brand new empty library here. It's empty. There's nothing here. There's no references in the library. I'm still logged in. If I go to edit and preferences here, you will see that I still have my login details. So all you have to do on a new computer, for instance, or if you on a new computer, or if your computer crashes and you reinstall everything, is that you go here and you add your login details to your EndNote Online account, and that means I'm happy. This is all empty, which means there's no information to send to sync up to EndNote Online, but there is a lot of information to sync down, of course. So all I do is I click on library here and I click on sync, and EndNote will start syncing this library with my EndNote Online content. So this means I can easily transfer my library to a new computer, or easily transfer it to somewhere else if I want to. And you can see right now there's 95 references or 93 references here. The first time you sync, it will take a while. And the reason why it will take a while is because the full library is downloaded to your computer. And it needs to do that because you need all the references on your local computer. But all the consecutive times, all the following times, EndNote will only check if there are any changes. So have there been any changes? Okay, then I will only sync those changes. So if you don't sync anything, it's lightning fast. If you haven't changed anything, it's lightning fast. If you change just a single reference, it's still lightning fast because it's so little information that needs to be sent. It's only the first time that more information needs to be sent. If I click on my sync status now, you will see that again, I have a library. The new library that I created that was empty now contains the same information the same information that my EndNote Online account contains. So I basically just recreated my library. So it's really easy to do this. Now let's say I want to and I'm walking on thin ice here. I'm not. I was about to say I'm not like you. I'm doing all the mistakes that we usually tell our customers not to do. So you only have one EndNote Online account. We recommend you to only have one EndNote library because it's really easy to mix them up otherwise. I will now try to juggle several EndNote Online accounts, and I will try to juggle several EndNote libraries, which means that I myself get confused sometimes. Like now, it wasn't my intention to merge these two libraries, but I managed to do that. So I have some work cut out for me after this presentation because I need to sort everything up again the way it's supposed to be. But now I'm going to share this. So I want to share this with a colleague. And basically, I share it with I share it based on email address. So let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to click on Share. So I want to share this. And when I do that, you will see that I already shared it with someone, myself, of course. Way down below here at the bottom, you can see that you can share with up to 400 people. And that's the limitation right now, how many people you can share with. But there is a new version coming. There is a new EndNote version coming. You can that is going to be released quite soon. You can already now buy it. If you buy an EndNote 20 license, that's the present version today, you will get the EndNote 21 version is about to be released in the near future for free, basically. So and there's also a campaign, so you get a 10% off if you buy an EndNote 20 license today, and then you will on top of that get the EndNote 21 version when that's released. And then what I want to say is that this 400 is, according to the rumor, it will be increased to 1,000 people in the coming release. So we're hoping for that. We'll see. But right now, I would like to share this library with, of course, myself. So I already shared it with myself, but I'm sharing it based on email address. So this is based on one email address I'm using. This is based on another email address that I have. So let's see how that works. I'm going to share this. If you want to share with multiple people, it also says here you can have enter email addresses separated by commas. So you can enter 100 email addresses at the same time. So let's click on invite. So I already shared that. So let's share it with someone else. As I said, there's a lot of.
You can share it with me, Peter.
I can share it with you instead. I tried this. I tried this. It doesn't matter. I can show you anyway. So I'm gonna share it with my colleague Torgrim in this case, and let's say he's going to have read and write access. I can give him read only, but I will give him read and write access. That means that he can add references and change references. Let's click on invite. So you can now see that he's pending. So he still hasn't accepted this invitation, and I will see if I can.
Yeah, I got a confirmation email asking me to confirm if I want to.
Yep. I'm gonna
accept the invitation, so I click that now.
Here we go. I'm gonna see if I can fool the system. That's and see if we can get a. Here we go. I'm going to show you how this, because that could be interesting to see for you to see how this looks like the email. So this is the email that the end user. So I just shared it with myself. So this is what you get. So basically, it says that this person, that's me, shared a library with me, and I need to accept that. In any way, I need to accept that invitation. And when I click on accept that invitation, it will bring up a Cite page, where it says that either you sign in with your existing EndNote Online account, or you can create to left a new EndNote Online account. So why do I want to show you this? Well, it means that the person that you are sharing your library with, they don't need to have an EndNote Online account. They will get the information how to access it anyway, how to create an EndNote Online account and be able to access the library. So let's click on close here, and I'm going to do that again. Go to File and click on Share, just to show you, because I wanted to show you this. Torgrim that I just shared with, he just accepted my invitation, and now he's a member. This person, Peter, that's me, he still hasn't accepted my invitation, and I need him to do that. So I'm going to click on the cogwheel here, and I'm going to remind him. So click on Remind, and there's a new invitation sent to him because I need him I don't want him to miss this. So that's what I just did. I just shared my EndNote library with the colleague. So let's see if I can keep this in check here. So let me show you then what we did find. So this is the library that I just downloaded. Do you remember that I created an empty EndNote Online EndNote library, and I synced that to my online account, which means it just downloaded everything. So I got it here. Let's check that. Let's go here and you remember we did a comment on one of the PDFs. So I did a comment where I added my name. So let's search just in the PDF notes, only the PDF notes, and see if I can find one where it says Masurot. So let's do that. Let's search. Oh, it did find two actually here. Let's click on this one. So I double click and this opens up. So I even have here an attachment, a PDF attachment. You can see I even attached a Word document to this, and I can open that as well. If I click on the small arrow here, I can open it with Word. So I will have access to that as well. But right now I want to look at the PDF. So I click on the PDF tab, well, this is not the one that I made my copy, but it does have a comment with my name in it, Masurot. So let's look at the other one here. Let's click on this one. It only has a PDF attached. Let's look at the PDF. Here we have, here, background. And if I open this, well, here it is. So everything was synced into my library. Fine and dandy. I can use this to sync between my computers. I can use this to sync to recreate my EndNote library if my computer crashes, for instance. Very, very good. You can even sync this to your, if you have an iPad, you can download EndNote to your iPad, an EndNote app, and you can sync it to that. But let's close this and see if we can see how it looks like for someone else. So I'm opening EndNote again. I thought my computer is doing, there we go. So I'm opening EndNote. I'm going to edit and preferences again. I'm going to delete this, my EndNote Online account, because now I'm another person. Now I'm the person that I shared to. And all I need to do is I need to say, okay, so instead of using the EndNote Online account that I used before, I want you to use this EndNote Online account instead. So that's my EndNote Online account. Let's click on OK. Here we go. Now I have an EndNote, and it's connected to an EndNote Online account. This is the EndNote Online account that I shared to. So if I click on File here, I don't want to click on Share, because that's not what I do. Instead, I want to open a shared library. So let's click on Open a shared library, and it shows me that one person has shared a library to me, and that was the account that I used before. So you can see that it's based on the email here. So I just click on that and say, okay, open this shared library. Here we go, and it just synced everything, I think. Let's click on all references here. I have a lot of references. Let's search for Masrots, I'm going to make, instead of an advanced search that we looked at before, the advanced search, I'm going to make a simple search. And the simple search is quite neat. The simple search searches everywhere, including the PDF content and including the PDF comments. So let's search for that. And now you can see that I get a lot of information. A lot of hits in my own library. Some I'm an author of, some I'm not an author of. And I think this is the one that we had. So let's click on that. So I get this preview window. Let's click on the PDF file here, PDF tab, so we can preview the PDF. And there are my comments that I made about the background. So it's all shared with me from someone else. And this is now, let's click on the sync status here and see what it looks like. You will see, again, you can see what's locally, what's online. And here you can see that I have an online premium account, meaning I have an unlimited storage capacity. And this is the account that I'm logged into right now. This is my account, peter@alfasoft.no. So that's my account. But the owner of this information, it's not my references. They are only shared to me. I'm not the owner. The owner is the account or the user who shares it with me. And I can see that at the top left here. It says support@alfasoft.com. So this is the person actually owning this library. And that's important. There's always someone owning the library. Another good thing that I really want to push this with the EndNote Online account. It's quite good functionality to be able to use that, to share your references among yourself, to basically sync it with yourself on different computers. But I also want to push it, because as soon as you add your login details by going to edit and preferences here, as soon as you add your login details here, you don't have to sync your library for this, but as soon as you do that, EndNote will, in the background, it will check your references according to a retraction alert database. And if we look up to the left here, you can see that in this library, there are actually two references that's been highlighted as retracted. So let's click on that and see what we have. So we have two references here highlighted. Let's double click on it. So I open my preview window. Here we go. And you can see that it says here retracted publication. And this is done in the background. This check is done in the background, and the only thing that EndNote uses is the DOI number to check this. So it doesn't take any high internet speed, or it doesn't take any time, and it does it meanwhile. You can keep on working. If you have a big library, you can keep on working, and it will check it meanwhile while you do that. So if I click on this retracted publication part here, I will see why it was retracted. So it might not be that it's any kind of bad research. It might even be retracted just from the researchers themselves, because they realized there was some error in the article. But it's retracted. If I want more information, I can click on read more. It will open up in a web browser, and I can read some more information. Here it didn't say that much about it, but it's the author themselves in this case who retracted it. So they probably did find something that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. So they retracted it and will either publish it again or redo the research. But this is a functionality that runs in the background all the time. If for nothing else, I can recommend creating an EndNote Online account just for getting this service. So far, and we have a lot of customers contacting us. So far, there has been no customer that has no organization that has a big EndNote library that they share among themselves that does not have retractions that they were not aware of. So they were all surprised that, oh, are those retracted? So this functionality is really, really good, just to make sure that your references are up to date and valid. I also, you can see here that I have a lot of groups created here. You can create up to 5,000 groups, and of course, after a while, it gets a little bit overwhelming, so to say. But now you have this filtering functionality at the bottom here, search for groups. So I'm just gonna click here and write manuscript, start writing manuscript, and it will show me all the groups with that word in it. So that's really, really useful as well. So I will have a look here. I think here I will have a look at this, because there's one more thing that I want to show you, or just quickly. We don't have that much time left, but in this case, you can see that I have added to the right here. In this, I have added a number of attachments. You can have up to, I think it's 35, or actually I know it's 35 files to each reference. And this is a manuscript, so I'm going to open this manuscript. Let's see, it opens up on another screen. So I have a manuscript here. It's open. There are some references down here, and let's see if I open the correct one. Yes, I did. Oops, let's see where it went. So here we go. I have this document. This is my manuscript. There's a title, abstract, and there's some text. I've added some references to it using EndNote. Now I want to know where to publish this. And since I have an EndNote Online account, well, I can just open this. I have an EndNote Online account. I've added references using EndNote, so I can click on this manuscript matcher at the top here. So let's do that. What happens is that it opens up in EndNote. It does not open up in EndNote. It opens up in my web browser. So find the best journals for your manuscript. Again, you need an EndNote Online account for this. So what it needs is my title. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to add my title here. I'm going to copy my abstract and add that. And from the title and the abstract, it will take keywords for me. And since I added my references or my citations in the manuscript using EndNote, it already uploaded all the citations that I've used to my EndNote Online account. And by using these references, by checking what journals are these references from, and by checking those publications and see what references were used in those publications, and some other fancy algorithm, it will try to match my manuscript with possible journals to publish in. So let's click on Find Journals. It will use then my citations, my references. It will use my abstract, and it will use my title to find journals that are a good match for me. Now, I obviously just took some information from different parts and tried to put something together. So I don't get that good of a match, but I get this match score to the left here. I get the impact factor for the journals, so I can see, okay, how high is the impact factor of this journal? Do I want to publish there? And I can click to the right. I can click on for instance, the journal information, and I can read more about that journal. I can click on the submit and immediately submit to that journal. If there are any articles that are very similar to my articles, I will get that also showing up here. So I can highlight, check that. And if I click on the small arrow here, I will expand this, and I will get some more statistics. How does my keyword rank? how, you know, and in what category does it rank, and so on and so forth. So it does help me to find a place to publish in. But again, it's all dependent on you having an EndNote Online account. So it's a nice feature to have an EndNote Online account. Of course, you can still use EndNote without an EndNote Online account. The EndNote Online account is an add-on to EndNote. So, but just remember that you need, in order to have the unlimited version, the premium version of EndNote Online, you need to have an EndNote license. So, Torgrim, do you have any? I can see that there's 9 minutes to the next session. Do you have any questions coming up?
That was new, Peter. I must always stop you in the last minute.
I know. I was thinking about that.
Thank you. Yeah, we have some question here. I've taken a few of them. It's actually quite an interesting question here at last from Jasmine. After you shared an EndNote library with a colleague and he or she did some modification, deleting, adding references, can you devise whether you want to include the adaptation or not? And I think if you show the log, I actually did add a reference to the library you shared with me now. So you can maybe show the log.
I don't think I can, because I'm in a different, I'm not the owner here. So let's do that. But anyway, if I look at this sync status here, so if you give something read and write access to your shared library, well, you give them basically full access. So whatever they do is synced to your computer as well, if you are the owner of the library, so to say. If you don't want them to be able to make changes, you should give them read-only access, because as it says, they can only read the information, use the library in full, but they cannot add or edit information. If they want something changed, well, they have to send it to you and you can add it. But if they have read and write access, it's still possible to see what people did. So if I go to this sync status up here, there's a small person's icon at the top. And if I click on that, it will give me a log of all the latest changes. And you can see here that Torgrim, he just said that he added a new reference. So it's here in the log. And if I click on that, it will actually take me to that specific reference. So it's quite easy to see what he added to this. And then I can, of course, if I think it's not correct, I can remove it if I want to, or I can add more information or make a comment or download. I can see here there's no full text PDF. So I can try and download full text PDF, for instance. But you can see that, and it's really good. I mean, if you start sharing your library with a lot of people, this log file is quite useful. You can see everything what everyone has done. So it's a really good tool.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, there's, I see that the time is running out. So
we also answer all these, normally we answer all of the questions in a document in writing, and share that with all of you in our post ODD publications.
Yeah, we will answer all questions and send you an email next week when we have the recording published. So yeah, there are some questions about output styles. I would just mention that how many are there now? 9,000 pre-made, but of course you can change them, and you can also create your own output style with EndNote. So if needed.
A word of caution there. If you want to create your own output style, I would recommend starting by an existing style and modifying that, because then it will save you a lot of time to do that.
Yeah, and there's also a question about how to merge two libraries into one. There's multiple ways or methods of doing this. The easiest is probably your main library, and if you have another library, just copy paste them from the another library to your main library. And this is as easy as in Word. You just select all reference, so Control A, and then Control C to copy, and then jump to the main library, and then Control V to paste. or use the
Yep.
edit menu in EndNote.
You can even drag and drop them. You can have two libraries open side by side and drag and drop between them if you want to. I was showing on the screen here, also showing that if you go to File, there's an import, and here you have the possibility to import an EndNote library. That is also possible.
Yeah. Did you show the duplicate? Because that's important when you're merging multiple libraries to delete duplicates.
I did not. So there is under the library here, you have find duplicates, and that is also not only if you merge libraries, but also if you have a big library, you make searches on PubMed, for instance, and import new references. We do recommend checking for duplicates on a regular basis. It's not uncommon that users come back to us and for 5 years they haven't checked for duplicates at any time. And it turns out that they have so many duplicates, and then it starts to getting tricky. Where did they add comments to what version of that reference? But if you click on find duplicates, it's really fast. It shows you can see here that it shows you the records side by side, and any fields that are not identical, it will highlight in blue, so it's quite easily to check, and you can decide which one to use. If you don't want to do this, you can click cancel, and it will show you all the duplicates that it did find in one go here, and it has already for you highlighted all duplicates apart from one in each group. So I can just click on delete and all duplicates are gone. And if you're wondering, well, which one did they highlight for me, EndNote? Well, it highlights the references. It saves the oldest version of the reference in your library. That's what I do, because it's most likely that you've used that somewhere and added more information to it. So the oldest version of the duplicate is saved. I'm just going to click on delete here, and it deletes the duplicate, and now I don't have any more duplicates in my library. So it's very, very easy. Library, find duplicates.
Great, Peter. I think we have to stop there. Sorry, the time is running out, and we have our next webinar coming up. So thank you again, Peter. As always, a great presentation. I will take the screen over back to me, and then we will start the next webinar in a few minutes.
Thank you very much.